How y'all doing? QB here. Today we're gonna be talking Shoreline. Now Shoreline's kind of a weird map. It's super big, yet it seems to have so many little choke points. These choke points have a tendency to get people killed sometimes. So today we're gonna be going over shortcuts that'll help you get through Shoreline quicker and safer. Now in order to do some of these, you may want to consider like an L1 injector or something equivalent, like a adrenaline maybe. For me, I prefer the L1 with that plus 20 strength, plus 20 endurance for the 2-minute period. And before we get into it, if you haven't already, maybe consider hitting that like, hitting that subscribe, leaving a comment if we missed some spots that you know about that you'd like to share with the group. Come out with new videos every Friday, and I also stream over on Twitch for anyone interested. But let's get started. So first off, we're gonna be right up here, just north of the resort at the river military checkpoint area. You can actually go across this little bridge, get up on this little knoll right here, and jump up onto these rocks and circumvent having to go over that bridge. Furthermore, if you have a high enough strength, like I was level 38 strength when I did this, I used an L1 to help me out, you can actually jump off this area and land on this rock and go the other direction, so you don't have to worry about that bridge at all, either way. Next, we're going to weather station. Towards the southwest of it, you can actually go down this little trail. It goes down the side of the cliff, kind of leads down towards a port. Only problem is you cannot go back up it, so it's a one-way street. Speaking of the pier, everyone knows making this run down the road, you kind of have a tendency to maybe get shot at from the other side of the gas station or the scavs. Instead of doing that, you cut this corner real sharp, you can jump right over this guardrail. Also, if you're headed back up, you kind of aim for that car, you can jump on the hood, then right over. Also, if you're coming from the beach, you go ahead and follow the beach all the way up, you're able to go down the side of the road. This way you're blocked from any potential snipers that are on the east side of the map that may be aiming for people coming down to the pier. Once you get to this area, you can go right up in the bank area through here, or if you'd like to, you can actually go around even more. Now, if you are down at the bank, you can actually go the other direction as well, but you can go through that little gap right there to cut out the stairs. When you're down in this area too, go ahead and go in the gas station. You aim for that little gap, you're able to jump over, and back here, there's a couple things to loot. You got a big green crate right there, you have a safe, and lastly, in this last room, you have another big green crate. If you're ready to leave, same thing, aim for that little gap, go ahead and jump through. You do tend to take a little bit of damage both directions, but just heal up in between. Next, up here at the power, if you're headed up the river, you can jump on this little concrete ledge, keep going, and go right between this fence and the concrete barrier. Obviously, you can also go back the other direction. If you're looking for another way in, you can run through here, jump over this barbed wire, and get in that way. You are also able to go out that way, but it is a little cumbersome, and unless you really need to, there's not really any good reason to go that way. Next, we have the town. Now, this town has so many things. I'm going to point out a couple just to kind of get you thinking about it. There's boxes on fences you can use to jump over. Tires all over the place. Little piles of garbage. More barrels. And you can even get on top of a lot of these roofs. I just kind of want to drive this part home, that this really isn't as much of a maze as you may think. It's very similar to how Customs is, where there's a lot of what looks like barriers that aren't actually barriers. Next, we're on the east side of Resort, and there's quite a few ways to get up here. We have this first one towards the south. That one is a little open though, so I don't necessarily recommend it unless you have to take that way. A little more north, there's this little alcove, and right here you can go up to the east side as well. And lastly, Just to the left of that one we did. Right behind this tree, another area you can get up. Now these are nice because they're kind of a side entrance to getting up to the east side of the resort without just running up the front or the back like everyone else. Also, with that last one, if you are leaving the resort, you run over this little plank, go right between these trees, and aim for that top of that tree right there. You have a quick way down. Once you get down here, you have a straight shot right to Road to Customs. Next, another thing to consider, if you're on the second story, you may want to PK because it will hurt a little bit, but you can just jump right off. And like I said, if you PK'd, you're able to run off, get to safety, just have a nice quick exit out from any two-story room. If you're coming out of the resort and you want to go west, but you don't want to go through the courtyard, you can actually go right outside the fence and follow it all the way down. This way you're not going through the courtyard, like I said, and you're cutting out that whole area down by the military camp with all the scavs and potential campers. I hope these help get you around Shoreline a little quicker and a little safer. If you guys enjoyed, really appreciate it if you hit that like, hit that subscribe. I said, if I missed any that you really like to use, that you'd like to share, go ahead and leave that comment. But until then, I'll catch you guys next time.